folks, it is the Roadster Rumble, round number 8 tonight, thanks to Simworx Race Simulators live from Fuji Speedway here in Japan. Drivers just out on the track right now doing their qualifying session. We're going to take you straight down to the action and pick up your favourite drivers here at this fantastic twisty little circuit in Japan. And as I said, Fuji, pretty new to the iRacing service, but these drivers, well, they don't care that it's new. They're already all over it. Let's go down and we got Brenton Hobson, Andrew Roberts out there on the track as well. They've only got the qualifying session to try and get themselves up towards the top of the grid. The two classes, as always, the 2016 car will be with the blue stripe tonight. The grey stripe is the 2010 MX-5 Cup car. Welcome aboard. G'day Keith. G'day Ray as well. Says, hey mate, have a good call. Keith says, here we go. Let the old fellas at 'em. Good luck to all the drivers tonight. Greg Holmes, our series organiser, got himself on the podium last week. How will he go tonight in what is the final round of season number 6? We're coming back for season 7 shortly, so get yourself locked in. Make sure you subscribe and get set for a big one. This will be good racing tonight. 2 races on the cards tonight, and Greg did send me some details. I'll quickly reopen that email so I can run through them, but it is of course Fuji running the GP layout with no chicane tonight. Race 1 kicks off at 8 PM, which is in about 7 minutes time. 2 30-minute races tonight with pit stops for fuel required, as both of the cars have a 12 litres as their starting fuel cap tonight, so they're both being held back. Rolling starts, and they will move the top cars up to the Group A positions and drop the Group B's back, so they will be starting in class tonight no matter where they finish the previous race. So 2 races tonight. This is Andrew Dutch we're watching right now. We'll have a quick look at this Fuji circuit. We've got a couple of cool drone cameras out there just to pick up some long shots, just to show you how it drops away and it picks up some height as well. It winds around this beautiful circuit on the foot of the volcano, Mount Fuji, which you will see in the background tonight. Some picturesque shots here for the Roadster Rumble. And our top time at the moment is yet to be posted, so no one has set a lap time yet. We're nearly 4 minutes into qualifying, and I'm just having a quick look across the sectors. In fact, let's throw it into quali mode so we pick up some sectors down the bottom. As always, Brenton Hobson setting some greens there. Keith Logan as well setting some green sectors. Let's see what he does when he crosses the line. It's a long run to the checker flag in an MX-5. It tends to take a little bit longer than we see in GT cars or V8 supercars around here. But let's have a look as Hobson will put a time down now. He does. A 155.6 goes to the top and comes screaming past us there. So a huge long straightaway. They'll top these cars out tonight. Oliver goes second. Aaron Oliver's put it across the line. As you see when we flick between cars, there's no other cars out on the track. That is because, as always, it's lone qualifying for this series. They don't have to get in the way of each other. They can just have the track to themselves for 10 minutes, 2 laps, and see what they can do. Top Group B at the moment is Damien Seeger, so he's currently sitting in P6, 2 seconds off the speed of the top drivers, as Jack Boyd now goes to the top. Well done, Boydie. Glenn Boyd's out on the track too, setting some good sector times. Dave Gogol's just gone through for 11th outright. Still 17 drivers have set a time. About half the field still yet to set a time as we hit the half time mark, or halfway through this qualifying session. So a bit of work to do this week. A fair bit on Race Stars TV. Tomorrow night we're kicking off round 2 of our F3A series, which is fantastic. Looking forward to that. And then Saturday, a big one. It is the Sandown for the Pro Invitational Series, where I do production. So that's enough for me. 3 this week, keeping me busy, and we'll see how this one goes tonight. 2 races. Let's get set for race 1 shortly as we wrap up qualifying. Roadster Rumble tonight, live on Racestars TV. Big thanks to Simworx Race Simulators and all the fantastic sponsors. Up on the right hand side of your screen you can see. Make sure you check them out, give them some support. Alright, let's get back down to the action as Owen Coleman goes across the line. P6 with 155.68, pretty close to the top. 6/10 cover the top 5 as he comes to a stop. Matty T all out of shape. He's lost it down the hill there. Keith Logan currently 11th outright, doing a nice job. And Brad Wooten, who has been super quick in Class B, yet to set a time. He's leaving this late, only 2.5 minutes to go now. Has not as yet set a lap time. Spike Goddard's in the house. He says, can I get it? Oh yeah? Can I get it? Oh yeah! Yeah, you can get an oh yeah. I think I just blew up everyone's stereos. Righto, so crossing the line, Wooten goes 11th and he goes to the top of Class B. Sounds like an old Spitfire ripping down the straight there, revving itself out, the little Midas. And Nick Wood, P5, good job. The Oz Filters Warehouse.com.au MX5. It's all MX5s tonight. What's he got on the back of that car? Bug Buster. The Bug Buster. What's a Bug Buster? What is the Bug Buster? Someone go and look up the Bug Buster for me and tell me what that is. That sounds exciting. Is it some sort of thing that you shoot bugs with? You know, you got a fly in the house in the middle of summer. Don't reach for the fly spray. Reach for the Bug Buster. I've got no idea, but maybe that's what it is. Someone can tell me. Someone can tell me what it is. Tyson Gordon, Taps NT Racing, 22nd place. Currently sitting probably at the back of his class at the moment. He's with good company though. John Thorne's down there as well. Thomas Connors, Paradiso. Rodkin still hasn't really set a competitive time. He's sitting down there in 29th. Andrew Roberts and Ben Ferguson yet to set a time. Roberts will cross the line now. Let's see what he can do. Crosses the minute to spare. Won't get another lap in. It's quite a long lap here, just on 2 minutes in these cars. He crosses the line. Does he set a time? It doesn't look like he has. So he's obviously had an off track somewhere, which has meant that lap will not count. Brad Wooten has done enough at the moment by the looks of things to claim pole position in the Class B. So how it's looking, Jack Boyd looks like he's edged out Brenton Hobson at the moment. Kyle Ridley puts it on the second row of the grid with Andrew Dutch outright. Nick Wood will start from the third row with Owen Coleman. And then it's Glenn Boyd, Baker, Fenson and Matty T to round out your top 10. So good job. We'll head down now and let's get set for a start here for our first of 2 half-hour races tonight, live on Racestars TV. Let's run through that grid as confirmed from iRacing. Now this is how they will start. Jack Boyd on the front row. Brenton Hobson starts alongside you. Those two have had some good hit outs in the last couple of rounds, haven't they? Ridley will start on the second row tonight alongside Andrew Dutch. Andrew Dutch getting set for a good start, no doubt as well. Nick Wood will be there with Coleman. Then it's Boyd, Baker, Fenson and Matty T in 10th place. Brad Wooten starts then in 11th place. He is the top of the Group B drivers with Keith Logan alongside him. Next page of the grid, Losh and Oliver start from the 7th row with Seeger and Moroz. Harrison and Gogol, your top 18. Greg Holmes, our series organiser, starts out at 19th place on the grid with Darren Linus rounding out the top 20. 21st, Dylan Canto with Tyson Gordon. 22nd, then it's Martin Dell and Carriage rounding out your top 24. 25th on the grid, Thorne Thompson starts from 26th with Connors, Paradiso, Rodkin and Ferguson rounding out the back. Simon Joel Smith well out of position there in 31st, and Andrew Roberts will bring up the tail tonight. The Wooden Spooner, 32nd on the grid. Let's get set to go racing. Alright, let's get set to roll away now. The safety car does just that, and Brenton Hobson straight away showing a little bit of cheekiness there, jumping well ahead of Jack Boyd, who I hope he hasn't got a problem there. He's dropped back to third. Now he gets back into position as they wind their way around this circuit towards where they will start away. So the Porsche safety car leading the pack of cars, all the Group A's at the front. Group B will then filter their way at the back, and they generally do put a gap in there. You can see now they are starting to form that gap. Moz has just been held back slightly. There is a Mozzie holding back there in 14th outright. But let's go with Boyd now. We'll get set for a start. It's a long run down the straightaway. I think we might even see, if you can time it right, some people jumping ahead and getting a bit of a gain at the start here. Wait for the safety car to pull out of the way, and then Jack Boyd will have his finger on the pulse, ready to floor this MX-5 and try and send it down towards turn 1 with this long shot. The old long shot. You can't even see him, but trust me, they're there. They're getting set to go now. It's a long hold. The safety car now gets out of the way. It's a long way down the straight, and we wait for a green. We're still holding. Wait for it. That's how far they are from the line still, folks. They've got to hold all the way to the line in formation. Formation flying here. I feel the need for speed. Let's get set to go racing here from Fuji for round number 8 of the Roadster Rumble, thanks to Simworx Race Simulators. And we are off and racing. Group A get away well. Here they go down towards the big run into turn 1, the big braking zone in the background. Group B just about to get underway. So far so good. 4 wide in the background as we swing our way down for the first time and drop ourselves down through 1 and 2. Looking pretty good. Back in the pack as well, as Glenn Boyd did lose position there to Scott Baker, who moved up 1 position. Wooten is Group B getting underway. Wooten, Losh, Seeger and Moroz in there, all battling away. Greg Holmes has just jumped up a position too, and then drops a position again. Canto up 2 positions, and Martindale up 6 already, so he's moving along very nicely. Back at the top though, the Group A drivers. Jack Boyd does hold the top 4, in fact hold position off the start, and so far have got away without incident. So looking back from Jack Boyd's car, he's looking strong so far tonight. It's been very even between himself and Hobson throughout the rounds. I'd love to see this man, Andrew Dutch, have a good run tonight. He's now tucked up behind Kyle Ridley, trying to get through on the Frog Leap and Juice Racing car. And look how much he closes up, riding the back end of this car. It's half hour, so they've got to do either 30 laps or half an hour. I can tell you right now, they're not going to get anywhere near 30 laps. So time certain race, about 15 laps we should be able to get tonight. They will need a pit stop as well at some point tonight. So as Jack Boyd under pressure there from Hobson, slow in, fast out. They got a great exit down the pit straightaway, did Jack Boyd, so he's looking good. Let's go back to Group B and have a little bit of a look at these guys. As who's that going slow out of position there? That might be Harrison, in fact. Just up the road from Wooten, and then Losh. Martindale's in 16th now outright. In the background you can see Canto also challenging on the back of Moroz and Seeger. Anthony Connors further back with Jesse Carriage, and also Gordon Thompson. We've got an overtake at the front as we go down through turn 1 once again. Good overtake. That was Owen Coleman going all the way up into second position somehow. So we might try and have a look at that. Coleman, I think, has just put an absolute bomb in there and gone past a lot of them. Let's have a quick look on the replay. So where's Coleman? He's going to absolutely send it under brakes here. He was in the tow. We'll jump on board with him. Watch this under brakes. Goes from P5 up into P2. Hard on the brakes now. And he says, even Hobbo. He says, see you later, Hobbo. How about that for a move? Thank you very much. And he moves up into P2. So perfect job. Owen Coleman now on the back of Jack Boyd as we get into, well, I'll call it by time tonight, 3-minute mark of this 30-minute first race. Brenton Hobson, P3. Watching what's going on in front between Boyd and Coleman. How patient will Owen Coleman be here? He's already past a stack of cars. Here he goes again. And Dutch as well, I wouldn't mind betting he skips up a few positions here. He's got a great run. Pulls out of the toe though, very early on Hobson. He should have probably stayed tucked in behind. Nick Wood is all over the back of Kyle Ridley, about to dispatch of him, I think. Here we go. This is why we love our MX5 racing. It comes down to a lot of this drafting. The Group B cars in the background are only about 11 seconds off the back of this lead pack, so not too far back after 3 laps. But in the end, Boyd goes back to second. Coleman now leads the race. So 1:55.8, near fastest lap of the race, and by some margin as well. About a second quicker on that lap was Owen Coleman, really flying now. Now, has he done a lot of practice on this track, or is he just finding its perfect conditions for his driving style? The number 97 out there in front, Motorsport Hauler's racing car. And in the background there, Dutch moving around as well. Baker up into 7th now for Scott Baker, up 1 position, and Aaron Oliver moves himself onto the back, in fact inside the top 10 now, in 9th place in the Palmer's Penrite Sim Racing car. Done a lovely job. As we zoom in on him behind Glenn Boyd. Let's jump on board for a moment. So they're all following the leader at this stage, 5 minutes in. Up ahead, you can just see the different lines. Owen Coleman went super wide on entry there. Jack Boyd, bit of a different entry line. I'm not sure how that worked out for either of them, but I think it worked out better for Owen Coleman, who still holds a 1.1 second advantage as Baker goes defensive, holding out Boyd up on 2 wheels for Aaron Oliver there as he accelerates down onto the pit straight. Good shot, that one. Just shows how far they've actually got to go from, look at that. There it is, down past the start finish line now. Here at Fuji, side by side, we've got 2x2s going on at the moment. Just get a look down the straight. Someone well wide in the background as well, way off the circuit. But it's still going to be Owen Coleman leading, up 5 positions so far in this race from Boyd, Hobson, Dutch, Ridley, and Baker under attack from Glenn Boyd now. Boydie in front. Behind them, Fenson takes the position back off Oliver to put himself back up into 9th place. Oliver back to 10th, and our biggest mover and shaker down in the Group Bs at this moment is Philip P. Philip Paradiso, he's flying at the moment. Up 7 spots into the top 21 outright, but importantly about 246, 8th in class at the moment for this little purple and pink KP Tech machine. What's going on out there tonight, folks? Hopefully you're doing well. Get involved in the chat if you want to see any of your favourite drivers. Let me know who they are, who you're here to watch, and I'll try and give them some extra airtime as Andrew Thomas for Optimum Gaming goes through on Andrew Roberts as well. Back to the front, still a lead of now half a second, so it's come down a little bit, and he's gone wide there. I wonder if his tyres are just starting to feel a little bit of pain 7 minutes into the race. Has he taken too much out early and will now pay for it over this next 2/3 of the race? We'll have to wait and see. Jack Boyd's already applying some pressure. That's where you can see the different lines into the corner. Boyd really sharpens up the entry. Owen stays very wide. Hobson further back. Under pressure from Dutch, who should be able to get a good exit here and surely run past him down the pit straight. Hobson back on Coleman. Now Boyd go back to the lead of the race. Andrew Dutch getting a bird's eye view of this little trio at the front. And Andrew Dutch has now done the fastest lap of the race with a 1:55.1, turning the wick up for him as well. So let's ride on board with, I think, Kyle Ridley, who's going to get a good look at this. I tell you what, Nick Wood's also progressing well after dropping a couple of positions. He's now back into 6th place. That was Fenson in the background, hanging the rear end out, and Aaron Oliver trying to get that position back. We'll jump on board with Oliver. Big moment there for Fenson. You could see him soaring at the steering wheel, trying to get that thing under control. He did well in the end, but he lost a bit of position there to Baker. And Oliver's eyes would have lit up as well. Matty T's in 11th with Keith Logan, still staying in touch with this top group. Meanwhile at the front, let's pick up Jack Boyd, now leading by 8 tenths of a second in fact. Starting to pull away. This is what Jack Boyd does so well. We're only a third of the way into this race one now. And Boyd's starting to check out. As soon as he breaks that toe to Hobson, Hobson might be in a bit of strife here. And Boyd does a 1:54.8, new fastest lap of the race. Now that was unassisted. That was leading the race, so he's now got it in the zone as Glenn Boyd and Nick Wood go wheel to wheel. Glenn Boyd stays in front for now, up into 6th place now for Wood. Sorry for Boyd. Baker and Fenson go 3 wide down the hill as well. They've got a lap car in there going slow. In fact, Scott Baker lost a lot of positions there. Now he drops back behind his teammate. So Scott Baker back to 12th. Not sure what's happened to him there. Did he have a little moment? Go off track maybe? Let's have a look if we can't pick that up. For Baker going down into that turn. So here he was. He went to the inside. 110 will cross back on him. Oh, he did get a bit of a nudge there. A couple of bumps actually. He got 1 or 2 bumps. And then he had to slow up a little bit there. So he got roughed up a bit there, Scotty Baker for Southern Cross Racing. And hopefully he can get his head back down and get himself back into this shortly. Bud Rodkin just chipping away at the back. He's up into 26th now. 25th make it as he crosses the line. Chasing down Wayne Losh. They're doing a bit of a crisscross, these two. Crisscross will make you jump. As Loshy hangs on at the moment for 24th place. Boyd out in front. I'm impressed. Impressed with a capital P on the pop filter there for how well he's pulled away by 6 tenths of a second. Jack Boyd in clear air, and that's, you know, Hobson at the moment is getting the assistance of the draft and big hole being punched in the air by the little MX-5 in front, but he's right on board. Let's see if he's doing any lifting and coasting, or he's actually going 10 tenths here to try and catch Jack Boyd. Is he trying to save some fuel, Hobson? Let's listen to the throttle trace, especially towards the end of the straightaway. So it all sounds pretty 10 tenths there for Hobbo. He's pushing hard. He's got it back down to 4 tenths now. Further back, Fenson and Matty T wheel to wheel. Watch out for Oliver in the background as well. He's got a good toe on both these guys. He might try and sneak around the outside of Fenson. He's setting this up well. Fenson's sideways, 4-wheel drifting through the left-hander. Now they hang it back to the right. This is where he'll pop out from behind the trees there, and they'll go too wide. I got my money on Oliver here to sneak through for a couple of positions, and both the Southern Cross Racing drivers at the back just watching along as well with Baker and Logan. Tries for the crossover here. Does Oliver? He squares the car up, second part of the corner. Fires it out, not close enough yet. He's got some damage on the front of that MX-5 too, so they've been playing a bit rough out there, these guys, tonight. That's all right, we don't mind that. There's Baker now, 11th, up into 12th, sorry, fighting with his teammate Logan. Logan having a good little jostle. Oh wow, they're still off the track in front. Oliver was wide, Matty T was wide, Baker nearly followed them, but Fenson leading this crew is all out of tyres. Look how wide he's gone through there. So it's getting a little bit wild for Fenson. Can he hang on? This is going to get probably a little bit crazy if he keeps going off the circuit like this. There's Stewart's to watch on. He's now run into the final corner. And a good exit there from Oliver. Should get a great run on him down the pit straight. Look how much quicker he was out of the corner there. Aaron Oliver will go alongside and should be able to make that one stick. So into the pits for Fenson. He heads to the lane. So does Dutch and Coleman. They're in for their compulsory stop. Only 12 litres starting capacity in the tank of these cars, so not a lot there. Who you're here to see tonight, folks, let me know in the chat. Let me know who you've come along to support. I know a heap of the people shared this stream prior to going live. Big thanks to Keith for the stars as well. But let's give a quick shout out to who we have: Darren Linus, Connors, Baker, Fenson, Spadowatsky, and Carriage for sharing the stream tonight. Thanks, Stanley. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name there. Spadowski? Spadowski. Maybe that's how it's pronounced. Stanley, you can slap me around for wrecking that one. Spadowski. So fastest lap for Kyle Ridley now. P3 for him, a 1:54.7. Still the top drivers haven't stopped yet. All the way down to 15th. We're still on the first stage of their race. We're hitting the halfway point. Interesting to know how far they can go on that 12 litres of fuel, how many laps that will actually do them, how long into the race they can go. Whether or not it's tight. Logan's still all over the back of his teammate here. Let's jump on board with Keith. I love how they got to pick different lines, trying to just outwit the person in front of them. He's going out so wide there before you turn it back in. Reminds me a lot of Tsukuba. Oh, good exit from Logan as well. Look at that, he goes straight past Matty T. Got caught napping on the outside. Will any of these guys pit? I reckon Matty T may come into the pits. Someone has gone in, and Matty T is going to go in too. He shapes for it anyway. Shapes to the pit lane, but doesn't go in. The driver that did go into the pits was Aaron Oliver. From 8th position, Aaron Oliver goes in, and he's going to get his first lot of service. Jack Boyd still leads by 0.5 of a second. Himself and Hobson starting to walk away a little bit now from the other drivers. Ridley, Boyd, Wood. Matty T's up to 6th now with Baker, Logan, Oliver, and Wooten, your top 10. This man, Brad Wooten, once again, great performance, leading the Group B drivers and driving out of his skin in this 2010 MX-5, so the older Roadster they use for the Group B, the newer one for the Group A's. Don't have Graham Ellis tonight, but he's watching along. Hello, Graham. How you going, mate? We're missing you. And Keith's going right out there. You'd be happy to see. And Graham Pegg, who's shouting out for Darren Linus. So we'll get a bit of Darren up on the screen for you shortly. He's just in the pit lane at the moment. Frog Leaped Juice Racing, getting his service done. There he is. So once he's fueled up and ready to go, which he is now, drops off the jacks, smokes the tyres. He'll come out probably around 20th, maybe a little bit further down, because Losh goes through into 19th, Martindale into 20th, and Linus drops down to 21st. In fact, he'll drop behind Bard Rodkin, who will go through as well. And Linus will come out in 22nd. There he is. So he gets back underway. Like plenty of cars coming down that pit lane. Unfortunately, putting him back another position. So we wait for the pit stops out in front. This is the top group now. Boyd still leads from Hobson, Ridley, Glenn Boyd, and then Nick Wood, your top 5. They staying out, these drivers. Nick Wood on the back of Glenn Boyd. This is a good showing from Glenn as well. He's had a bit of bad luck a couple of weeks running. Now he's really fighting well. Nick Wood's going to challenge him down into the hairpin, try and steal this position away. I think he's done that well. Has he gone too deep though? That was super deep in. And he has, so Glenn Boyd gets that position back straight away. Thank you very much, he says. Try again another time, mate. Didn't catch him out that time, as we see Hobson. He's closed the margin down to 2/10 now, which is good for us at home. We want to see a solid race between these two. They love it. They have a pretty good ding-dong every round here in the Roadster Rumble, as we hit now 18 minutes into this first of 2 races tonight. So Hobbo's definitely closer this time, isn't he? He's right up onto the rear bar now of Boyd. Let's see what he does. Is he happy to go for the overtake and lead this? Maybe he wants to lead into the pits, not be following, because you can get balked slightly into the pit lane if you are the following car. So he might try and just sneak a move through here before we get to the pit straight. Still about a third of the lap to go. Got this windy section, but he drops off through the windy section. Just can't seem to stick it with Boyd through here. See from the drone camera there, just jostling their way through, but I wouldn't be surprised if Boyd doesn't pit this lap. Hobson might come in and try for an undercut. Let's keep a good eye on them as they enter the pit straight now. Will they start to fade towards the right? Boyd is. He's fading towards the right. I reckon he's coming into the lane. Or does he fake and stay out? No, he's going in. So Boyd's in, Hobson stays out. And we've got a race on our hands now because Hobbo needs to put in the best lap of his life to try and stay in the lead of this race. So a stack of cars in the pits as we go back to some Group B competitors. Boyd, Ridley, Boyd, Baker, Matty T, Logan and Harrison all in the pit lane now on lap 11. 20 minutes in, so I reckon that fuel tank capacity has probably just reached its limitations now. Hobson doing the extra lap means he can put a little bit less fuel in the car. And that may just pay dividends at the end. We'll keep an eye on him. Just coming through the halfway point of the track now. Jack Boyd came out 40 seconds behind, so that's the deficit he lost in the pit stop. Around 40 or so seconds. Can Hobbo do a quick little sneaky quick sneaky stop and get himself back out in front with track position? The stoppage time for Boyd was 13 seconds stationary, so 13.05 stationary, which was a little bit more than Kyle Ridley, a little bit less than Glenn Boyd, who was stationary for 15.7 seconds in the pit stop. You can just see the top drivers there. Let's bring that back to the top 10 so we don't fill up the whole screen. There you go. So the top 5 all stopping on lap 10, although the top 2, Hobson and Wood, yet to stop. That graphic will be updated shortly. Into the pits now for Hobbo. So this is an all-important stop for him. Where is Boyd? He's just coming around through the back end of the circuit now. The gap was around 38 or so seconds, so I reckon Boyd's going to be in the lead here by the end of this pit stop for Hobbo. Depending on the time, the stoppage time, I'll let you know when Hobbo is stationary in the box. And like I said, it's a long pit straight here, so plenty of time. He's been in the pit lane for 25 seconds. He hasn't made it to the pit box yet, so he's still got to spend that time stationary. Now he's stationary, Hobbo. And there we go, there's a shot. Just goes to show where he is. Now where is Boyd? Here he comes over the crest of the hill. Hobson just drops off the jacks now. It's going to be close. Hobson heading for the pit exit. Boyd's at full speed. Hobson comes out. There's Boyd. Hobson's still in the lead, but not for long. Oh, he keeps it. So Hobson, great pit stop. Has he gone deep in there though? He has gone deep, but he comes out still with track position. So great stop there from Hobbo. He put 11.6 seconds of fuel in the car. That was just on a second and a half quicker than Jack Boyd through the pit stop, which, like I said, paid dividends and has got him now track position over the fast charging Jack Boyd. Can he hang on? These two are bound to have a pretty good scrap now to the end of this race, with just on 7 and a bit minutes to go in this time certain first race of the evening. In the background you can see Kyle Ridley staying in touch as well. Nick Wood, who leads the race, has not yet stopped. He's surely due in on this lap. Owen Coleman, who had a good start, still in 6th place. There he is in a gaggle of cars. He's got Glenn Boyd in front of him, Dutch behind him, Aaron Oliver's up into 8th. Now Keith Logan inside the top 10, ahead of his teammate, running in 9th. So good performance again from Keith. Southern Cross Racing driving very, very well indeed. Hobbo hangs on by an absolute width of fiberglass here. So I'm not afraid to use all the track and more. Brenton Hobson. And onto the pit straight, Nick Wood does stop now, so he'll drop out of the lead of the race. I reckon by the end of this straightaway with a good slipstream here, we might find that Jack Boyd is your new race leader with just on 6 minutes to go. Here he goes for the overtake. So we're looking probably time certain to 3 laps plus 1 more, I reckon. Lee Harrison poolside in Thailand. That sounds all right. How you going, mate? Drinking a nice sip of something cold, no doubt. Laying by the pool. Jeez, that sounds better than spending 12 hours at a desk like I did today. Have to book myself in some sort of holiday one day. So Hobson leads Boyd. Sorry, Boyd leaves Hobson. Ridley third. Wood. Then it's Glenn Boyd sitting in 5th place. And this is where the action starts because you've got Boyd, Coleman, Dutch, Oliver. Then further back, Baker's now got ahead of Logan. Let's go and have a look at Brad Wooten. 11th place, leading Moz by only 0.2 of a second, so it's pretty close tonight. In the Group B, we often see this quite spread out, but they're doing good to stay together. Back further, you can see Martindale, Canto and Fenson also battling quite hard here. Fenson and Ray Harrison, who's actually a Class A driver, just got out of shape there, almost into the back of Fenson, and dropped back about 6 or 7 car lengths. So Fenson under attack here from Martindale, which is a Group B car, so he should be able to squirt away. You would think the Group A car is carrying a fair bit more speed, about 2 seconds a lap difference here at this Fuji circuit, which is probably closer than it has been at many of the other circuits between the two makes or the 2 year models of cars we've got out there for Group A and Group B. 25.5 minutes we go in now. We're going to get, yeah, definitely 3 more laps, isn't it? Because it's going to go just short of the half-hour mark when they come across the line. So we'll cross the line now with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. So they cross the line now and overtake. Hobson goes back to the lead of the race, lap 14. So we'll get 2 more laps in, plus an extra due to that time certainty, as we now see Boyd and Hobson trade positions again. Let's turn the sound up and have a listen to these two. In fact, let's jump on board with the trailing car in visor cam for half a lap and enjoy this Fuji circuit. So in the slipstream, here goes Jack Boyd again. He should be able to sneak into the lead of the race, or is he holding back? I reckon he's holding back here. He wants to be in that position on the final lap, not on the penultimate lap, which we are on now. We're not. We're going to get 2 more, aren't we? So we should get this one and then 1 more after this for a time certain half-hour first race tonight. Hobson still leads. Ridley further back has got a huge margin back to Glenn Boyd, so about 4.2 seconds. He's pretty secure at the moment for a podium. Glenn Boyd still going to have to fend off Dutch, Coleman and Oliver, no doubt, in the last couple of laps of this race. Then you got Nick Wood, also in no man's land. He's got the driver 7 seconds ahead and 10 seconds behind, so very comfortable there. Nick Wood for 8th position. Baker is 9th with Logan rounding out your top 10. Brad Wooten still leads Group B. Now the rate they're going, they'll probably be classified at the end of this lap, because I just think, time certain wise, I think they will come across the checker flag well after the 30-minute mark. But he's got himself a good margin now back to the next Group B car, which is Wayne Losh, 8.5 seconds behind him. Then Canto, running third in class at the moment, is further 2 seconds back up the road. So pretty comfortable at the moment for Brad Wooten to continue on the form he had last week. Last round he's just been out of control how good he is at the moment, so he will continue pushing on with that tonight. So one to go here. We'll get the white flag this time through. Boy, just touching the brakes there, so that gives me an indication he doesn't want to lead just yet. He's happy to follow. Jump on board with him now. He's once again on the brakes, holding position. Are we going to see some games on this last lap between the two of them? Does he think he has enough skill to pass him somewhere around the circuit? Because I'm not sure there's... Well, there probably is, in fact, enough time from when you get onto that pit straight off the final corner to draft and then get into the lead. Really try and get ahead earlier. Hobson at the moment leads by a car length and a bit. You see Ridley in the background 5 seconds back. It's absolutely on a different calendar date at the moment. That's how far back he is. Lee's sucking down the margaritas. Very good, mate. Okay, so let's keep an eye on this. Final lap, they're both four-wheel drifting. The tyres are definitely feeling worse for wear. Meanwhile, Glenn Boyd's all over the back of Owen Coleman for this fifth position. It's all good points, and it helps with the progressive grid as well. Glenn Boyd gets through. It's up into fifth. Aaron Oliver will start out of seventh, so that's been good progression for him in this first race of the night. After starting, I think it was 14th on the grid, so he'll move himself up onto the 8th row now as we get into the back end of the circuit. Here we go. This is where it's make or break for Boyd to try and steal this win away from Brenton Hobson. Listen to the tyres, they're screeching on the limit. Only a couple of corners to go now. Hobson looks in control. Boyd will throw everything at him, but coming onto the pit straight. This is where will Hobson just try and back him up a little bit. He does, I think, a bit of a MotoGP style backing up, but Boyd, he's got the perfect run out of there, and I reckon he'll slipstream to the line, and this is going to be mega close. By the time they get to that checker flag, there's nothing in it. He pulls out of the draft now, and as we come to the checker flag drops, and who's going to take it? There, across the line, 51 thousandths of a second. Boyd gets it over Hobson. That's how close it was. Ridley gets third. Nothing at all in it. Dutch will come home in fourth, ahead of Coleman. Boyd, Oliver, Wood, Baker and Logan to round out your top 10. Incredible. Good racing between them. Brad Wooten's going to come around and take an easy victory for Group B tonight. Pretty much unchallenged, about 10 seconds back, but how about that for a finish? Nothing in it. 51 thousandths of a second. We'll get the official times shortly from iRacing as we watch our Group B competitor come down to take a well-deserved win. That was a good drive. So Brad Wooten wins Group B as he crosses the line. Congratulations. Losh will get P2 in class, and Dylan Canto will take out the top 3 for this first race of the evening. So we just wait on the final cars to cross the line before iRacing will send us the full results here for race number 1. They should be coming through shortly. But yeah, good drive there. Greg Holmes got 16th in the end, so pretty good, 5th in class. Andrew Thompson finishing 23rd and 11th in class ahead of Roberts, Connors and Thorne. So some good driving all around there. We'll get the results up as soon as they're made available from iRacing. And Brad Wooten, another quality performance to take out Group B, and Jack Boyd, well, he knew what to do. He hung on, and he hung on for a win. Righto, so the final slowpokes cross the line. Let's go back and have a look at the results now. Heat 1 results coming up on this screen, and there it is. Jack Boyd from Hobson and Ridley, your top 3 in Group A, the blue stripe there, and Group B with Wooten, Losh and Canto, your top 3. We've got a 5-minute warm-up session now. In fact, is it a 7 or a 5? 10-minute warm-up session. There you go. So they've given themselves 10 minutes. I'm going to go get myself another beer, and we're back with you shortly for race number 2.
something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I keep looking for something I can't get. Broken hearts lie all around me, and I don't need an easy way to get out of this. A diary sits by the bedside table. The curtains are closed, the cat's in the cradle. Who would have thought that a boy like me would come to this? Oh my, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Oh I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. Is it really just cause for feeling like this? On the surface I'm an evilist. I try to be discreet, but then blow it again. I've lost and I've found. It's my final mistake. She loved my proxy, no give and all take. 'Cause I've been through too fantasy. One too many times. Oh my, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Oh my, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. It was a long, hard night. She made it easy, she made it feel right. But now the moment is gone. I followed my hands in my head. I knew I was wrong. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Oh my, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. 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 I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. I should have walked away.
All right, we are back with 25 seconds to go until race number 2 tonight. Hopefully you're feeling well out there. You're enjoying all the expression session these guys are putting on. It's enjoyable to watch, that's for sure. Dave Gogol has topped the times. I don't think anyone else has tried to actually set a lap time out there. Hobson's been more sideways than not. Martindale, same thing, testing the limits of the cars. With 5 seconds to go though, we are going to get into this second race. Rolling start once again. We'll bring you the grid shortly as someone just put into the fence big time off camera there. Not sure who that was, but someone has had a huge nasty accident. Let's take you down and run through the grid for race number 2. So rolling start as per the first race tonight. They will be organised into their classes. Group A at the front. This is how they will grid up. It will be Jack Boyd, who beat Hobson by the smallest of margins in race 1. Start from first and second on the grid. And then behind Hobbo and Boydie, you've got Ridley, Dutch, Coleman and Glenn Boyd will start out of 6th. Aaron Oliver starts out of 7th after progressing up from 14th on the grid in race 1. So he's done a great job to get up into the 7th position. Nick Woods alongside him, with Scott Baker and Keith Logan inside the top 10. Brad Wooten will be the first of the Group B drivers, starting out of 11th with Henry Fenson beside him. Behind them, then you've got Losh and Canto, did well in Group B for the first race tonight. Jesse Carriage and Greg Holmes starts out of 15th and 16th, and it's Linus and Marndale, the top 18, Gogol and Matty T. Round out the top 20. Matty T will be elevated up to the back of the Group A drivers, so once they do roll off. Tyson Gordon and Philip Paradiso down in 22nd, then it's Thompson and Roberts. Be top of 24, 25th on the grid. Goes to Connors with Thorne, and then it's Moroz and Rodkin, your top 28. Seeger, Harrison, Ferguson, and Joel Smith starts from the back of the grid tonight. Let's get rid of the music and let's get set to call this race. Lights are off on the safety car. That means we're about to get underway. Jack Boyd, he played his cards perfectly in race 1. He held back. He didn't try and lead it on the last lap. He was happy just to wait and get that slipstream to the line, which tended to always be the winning theory, and it played off well. 52 thousandths of a second to snatch the win in race number 1. Will Hobson try and play things out differently? Could he have done a bit more with a bit of a block into that final corner? I think he played it pretty fair within the rules, and that's what he is, a good, fair, clean driver. Right, let's hold. It is a long hold down the pit straight here, waiting for them to be able to take off and get back underway. There's been a little bit of a crash, I think, in the back play. Everyone's moved into their positions now. They will hold, like I said, the Group B drivers back about half a straight, just to give them some distance between them. You just see Group B coming onto the pit straight now, so that's the gap. Safety car goes into the pit lane in its 8-bit motion, and we hold waiting for the green. So it's a long way off. Let's see if we can just zoom this camera in how far it is down that pit straight. Righto, here we go. They are absolutely ready to rumble for round number 8, race 2 of the Roadster Rumble. And here we go. We get off and racing straight away. One of the Southern Cross racing cars dived out of the slipstream trying to find a way through. It's going to be all Jack Boyd, though, I think, into turn 1 by the looks of things. From behind the grandstand, we see Boyd leading Hobson, and then a bit of smoke in the background. They got away with it, but Boyd comes out in front, too wide with Hobson, Ridley, Coleman, Dutch and Oliver. Upper position, Matty T did join the back of this pack, and Owen Coleman once again making a great start, as he did in race 1. Finds himself moving up into the top 4, so Coleman has got to be said. He loves his rolling starts, and he has absolutely nailed the 2 of them tonight. Here he goes around the outside of Ridley to try and get himself up into 3rd. He tried to hang on there, that was super close, but now he's got the inside line, and he'll make that move stick. So great racing there. How close do they get? Incredible driving between those two, but Coleman slips up 2 spots now in the opening lap, up into P3. So perfect getaway, just what the doctor ordered. Back further, Wooten ahead. Oh, we got a spinner in the background. Was that Dave Gogol's gone around? There's a big crash here in the Group B drivers. So we've got cars all over the racetrack. One's off in the fence, and that's Thomas. He is off in the weeds. Gogol as well with a bit of damage. And I think Tyson Gordon might have been the other one. Has he got a damaged suspension from that car? Looks to be crabbing a little bit, so I think he might need to take that back to the pits. Yeah, look at the damage on the back right-hand corner. So, you know, all sorts there as the race leader. 0.8 of a second starts to just move away a little bit. We didn't really see a lot of incidents in race 1. It's the first we've seen of it tonight, really. In race 2, big incident between about 3 or 4 cars in Group B. Let's have a little bit of a look if we can pick up what went wrong. Dave Gogol, does he cause it? He's a little bit out of shape going in. Oh yeah, he got way out of shape sideways and lost it. Someone else then lost it in front of him. And then does he get collected on the way through? No, they all did well to avoid the incident there. Let's have another look. Was it Tyson Gordon, I think? I don't think there was contact. I think he just lost it on his own call. Well, right on board here, there was a flashy car, but watch the yellow and green car in front. Oh no, there was contact on the way through, so big dust up. Back live with Jack Boyd out in front. Gap 0.6 of a second. Hobbo needs to do something about this, and he did a good pit strategy, Hobson, in the first race. Did the undercut, took less fuel, did the overcut, less fuel then, and jumped ahead of Jack Boyd, but he really then was a sitting duck in that final lap. Will he try and trail Boyd going into the final lap and give him a bit of his own medicine? On board with Dylan Canto, running 5th in class at the moment. You can see the competitors in front of him. He's chasing Wooten, Losh, Carriage and Martindale. He's all over the back of Martindale. Then further back he's got Linus and Greg Holmes not too far behind this as well. Greg now all over the back of Darren Linus. Will jump on board with Greg Holmes. So he looks to make an overtake. Got to get the gear shifts perfect, which he does. Up into a high gear now towards the big slowdown for the right-hander. Hard on the brakes, the nose dips in. You jump the curb there, all 4 wheels over the curb. And then they dull in the rev range again. You just got to try and carry speed and momentum straight through the bollard. Got a couple of cars off the racetrack up the road. One of them has escaped to the pits. Holmes has a look to the inside there, and Linus doesn't go for the overtake in the end. But yeah, good tight racing. In the background you can see more, and that's Paradiso and Moroz getting wheel to wheel. Good to see. Oz gets right up on the outer curb there and goes straight around the outside. Thank you very much. And the Simworx throw to, it looks like a throw to the Peter Jackson livery, that one, doesn't it? Meanwhile, up further, Baker. Baker, Wood and Fenson all together there. It's Baker in the sandwich, hanging out with the candlestick makers. Dutch, 7th, Wood, Baker, Fenson, then Logan, and 11th. He's outside the top 10 now. He's just on the back of this little pack. And he'll be trying to catch back up to his teammate. They had a good little scrap in the first race, him and his teammate, Southern Cross Racing. There is Mr. Logan, massive supporter of my channel, has been for 100 years. Big thanks to Keith. Everyone that continues to tune in and support what we do here at Racestars TV. On a limited scale these days, only a couple of nights a week. Jack Boyd still leads 0.6 of a second. We'll go back up to the top shortly as we just focus once more on Canto. He's still in a battle with Holmes, is just behind, and he's also got Martindale in his sights now as well. Meanwhile, Fenson further up, under pressure from the Southern Cross boys now, and Baker goes down the inside. Good overtake. Can he make it stick? I think he will. He's on the inside there, although Fenson will hang back on now and go on the inside for the next right-hander. And now he needs a good exit onto the pit straight, because it'll be a great exit from Baker, and now we get a tow. Logan will get a double tow down the pit straight as well. And they should be able to sneak back past. He'll go defensive. He just touches the brake pedal there. That'd be off-putting for Baker. He gets alongside him. Oh, almost some contact there. Fenson just leaning on Baker. Here goes Logan. Down the other side, he says, I'll have a piece of this action. As Fenson and Baker still continue to make contact, and now he's off the road. Oh, they're going to get into each other, these two. Big dust up. So will there be some chat about that one?
I think there's something went on there, Henry.
I think something went on there. I think you got together. There's definitely not much coming back from Henry Fenson there. But Nick Wood does the new fastest lap of the race too, with a 1:54.2. And Baker and Fenson now back together. They didn't lose too much time to each other. They lost a hell of a lot of time to Keith Logan though. 6.7 seconds. Oh, dearie me. Fenson in the fence. Big time, and he's out of this race. So that was a huge crash. Back to the pits he goes. And what happened there? Let's have a quick look at that on a replay. So did he just lose the back end, or did he? Oh yeah, he got a swapper on. And hello, into the fence. Big crash there for Fenson. And it ports straight away back to the pit lane. We'll go back live to the top now, where they're keeping it on the circuit. Boyd, Hobson, Coleman, Ridley and Boydie. Your top 5 still in that order. So into the lead of the race now, goes Brenton Hobson. Just does get it done, so good job. Hobbo leads, Boyd second. Now Coleman third, up 2 spots from where he started. So there's been some good gains across the opening part of this race. None better than Ray Harrison, obviously with a little bit of help joining the back of the pack, but he's up 21 positions into the top 10. 9th place for him, so doing well. The top 5 only separated by a second now. This is good. Any of these drivers can win it. I'm loving Glenn Boyd. He's continuing to fight at the back here. The Boyd Racing considered number 2 driver, but tell you what, absolutely flying here tonight. All over the back of Ridley. Can he get himself on the podium? Not sure. I've had a talk to Glenn yet in this whilst covering this series. See what he can do. Hobson out in front, leading by example. Can he hang on for a win, Hobson, and make it 1 apiece to Boyd tonight? Coleman may have something to say about that as well. Gee, he's driven well around this track. He's obviously well accustomed to Fuji. It's been in some other sims for a while. iRacing only for about a year or so, maybe even less. See Mount Fuji in the background there. But definitely Coleman making this his own tonight, on for a podium at this stage. The exit onto the pit straight, so important. Have a look on board from Coleman. He just lost a little bit of distance there to Boyd, who pulls away slightly. He's tucked right up underneath Hobson, and he may just slip past by the end of this straightaway. Now he starts to gain. That's where I think the leaders are just backing off slightly. The windscreen wipers come on. That makes me excited that rain's on the way. A downpour of rain would be pretty exciting right now as we see Coleman with a double toe go straight through and possibly into the lead of this race. That's a good move. Can he get it stopped? He's hard on the brakes. He's gone deep again, has he? Yeah, he did that before, didn't he? Goes a long way to come back on. Comes back on in 3rd place, and in fact under pressure here from Ridley. And also Glenn Boyd. So Coleman goes to the lead momentarily, then back to P3. It's like a yo-yo at the moment, the top 5 positions on this racetrack. Martindale and Linus both in the pits. Hobson really wobbling around that back end of that car. Not feeling so good here on lap 6 of 30. We're going to probably get 16 laps under our belt by the end of this 30-minute time certain second race. Really decided to do something different and pit a little bit early, Hobson, tonight in the second race. Just try and offset Boydie a little bit. I reckon that's Nick Wood. Is it going to the lane? He's going to try something different, so he has stopped now on lap 7. 11.5 minutes in. Boyd tucks back in behind Hobson. Here comes Coleman again. He's not tucking in. He wants to get to the lead. No, this time he does back off. So Coleman decides to hold back and stay in that P3 position for now. Ridley has a look momentarily. Meanwhile in Group B, Moz leads this one from Paradiso. I'm just trying to see where Wooten is. He's stopped, hence why he's back in 19th outright, and currently running 8th in class is Brad Wooten. He's got a bit of work to do now, Brad. You have to try and squeeze past Jesse and Wayne, and he's got a couple of Group A drivers up the road too in Scott Baker and Aaron Dutch after those incidents earlier on. So he's up past Jesse now pretty easily. Head down now, next person up the road, Wayne Losh. WBT racing car, once again driving well. Battle for the lead. Once again, Hobson leads by 2.5 tenths of a second over Jack Boyd, Owen Coleman. Your top 3 all separated now 6 tenths of a second, the top 3. And let's ride once again with the man at the back of this little pack of 5. Glenn Boyd. Coleman with the overtake again. Here he goes. He's got to get it stopped though. He's tried this a few times now and he backs out once again. He keeps the nose in there. Ridley tries to go around the outside. That'll be a good shot if he can get it done. We'll try and hang on the inside now, which will get him an overtake. He's far enough alongside. Needs to be late on the brakes here and then just force the pass, which he does. Oh, they almost make some contact. Good overtake. Got it stuck. So Kyle Ridley now moves up into third. Owen Coleman, he won't have appreciated that. He'll try and snatch that position straight back. Meanwhile, Hobson's still 4/10 out in front, holding on. Looking at the pit stops required, still everyone in the top 11 yet to stop. Top driver on the racetrack that has stopped, Nick Wood, and he took that stop early, keeping an eye on his lap times. See what he can do. Can he do something quite remarkable here? He jumped out of this little train to try and skip forward and maybe do something later on. Halfway point of the final race tonight now. And it's all Hobbo. Hobbo by 7/10, 6/10 in fact, out in front. Give props to this man, Aaron Oliver. Started 14th in race 1. He started this one in 7th after progressing up in race 1 to 7th. Now he's in 6th place and doing a beautiful job. Staying in touch with the leaders. Only 1.6 seconds off the lead. Anything could happen here. We could see a Bradbury moment. We could see car failures, people sliding off the racetrack. Once again, we've got a pass at the front, and this is Kyle Ridley going to the front of the field. Can he stop it? Yes, he can. So good overtake. So Kyle Ridley will lead us on lap 9 as we hit the 16-minute mark. What can he do out in front? He's got Hobbo tucked up behind him. And then Jack Boyd. This is his first time leading this race. And good luck to him as well. Moz still sitting in 8th place for Group B, leading that class from Connors and Paradiso. But I've got to think that Brad Wooten's early pit stop is probably going to pay dividends in the end. He's 16th outright, 5th in class. But the gap between himself, there he is there, and Moz is around 41 seconds, and I reckon Moz will need that much time in the stop to get some fuel tucked into that car. Kyle getting absolutely hounded here from Hobbo. So we want to see good, tough tyre racing. The car out of shape as he jumps over the curb there. Coleman still trying to fight that position in the background. He wants more than a 4th tonight. He wants to step up on that podium, get in here for an interview, feel some glory. That's what he wants tonight. And he is pushing to the limit and beyond. They're going off the racetrack there. I'm not sure what the incident limits are tonight or what they have to do to get themselves a penalty pit stop, but tell you what, there must be some off-track clicks counting up very quickly in the background. Ridley leads us onto the straight. 4/10 of a second. Hobson starts to shape towards the pit lane, then darts back to the left-hand side of the track. And as he sold the dummy there to Kyle, who comes into the pits. Hobbo stays out, Boyd stays out, so does Coleman. And here goes Jack Boyd to the lead on lap 10. Boydie to the lead. Look in the background too, you've got Glenn Boyd in the mix, and Glenn Boyd may be in a podium position now because he goes to the inside of Coleman and he just backs out of it in the end. But that was close. Glenn Boyd getting super racy now at the later stages of the night. 17, nearly 18 minutes into the final race. Can Glenn Boyd get himself on the podium? finish another lap. Let's see if Boyd goes in this time. They're all shaping that way, and then they go back to the left, or do they stay right? They go in. So Boyd's in, Hobson's in, Coleman's in, Glenn Boyd's in, Oliver's in. Ray Harrison a long way back. He's in fact 29 seconds off the lead here. Where is Nick Wood? He's the one I want to see because he has stopped for fuel. In fact, Kyle Ridley has as well, so he's up the road. He's actually done very well. He's 4 seconds ahead of Wood. Let's see what Kyle can do here. Just coming onto the pit straight now. I can tell you now that Jack Boyd hasn't made his pit box yet. Now they have. Oliver's in first. Jack's just up on the jacks now. And we'll do that long shot again so we can see where Jack is. There he is in the pit lane. And then we'll flick across to see where Kyle Ridley is. He's just going to come into shot now. As I'll tell you when Jack's off the jacks. Now he is. Jack jumps off the jacks. Where's Kyle? I reckon he's going to lead this race, Kyle Ridley. He is. He's going to fly through, although Hobson did get out quick again. So Hobson, he's the man of fuel strategy, isn't he? He actually gets out ahead of Ridley, Boyd, and Glenn Boyd. Moz hasn't stopped yet, so he's leading the race. But Hobson, 12.5 seconds of fuel. Compare that to Boyd, 16.2. So almost nearly 3 seconds difference in the pit stop there between Hobson and Jack Boyd. Will that play out differently towards the end for Hobson? Will he have to save some fuel? He's ahead of Ridley, which is the first key factor. He's 2.1 seconds clear of Jack Boyd, who's then got Glenn Boyd tucked up behind him. And that's interesting. That's a huge difference in pit stoppage time between those two drivers. Nick Wood all over the back of Coleman as well. Then Oliver, Connors and Dutch inside the top 10. Keith Logan back in 13th now on the back of Scott Baker, his teammate, who just ran wide. Keith may snatch that position away. They're chasing down Andrew Roberts. They need to work together. This is a Group B competitor at the moment, doing very well. He hasn't stopped, so it'll be a little bit of a, unfortunately, it'll drop him way back down the order once he does stop, as well as Connors, who's the other driver there in 10th place outright. The Group B leader at this stage needs to stop as well, so it's still looking good for Brad Wooten, isn't he? He'll come through and lead this race, and he'll lead it by at least 2.5 seconds over Seeger, I would say, once everything is said and done in the pit stops, as we hit the 22-minute mark of the race. 22. Moz crosses the line, still hasn't stopped. How big's the fuel tank in this car? It's got the extra jerry can in the back hooked up with a pipe running through. You can see in the background there's the what will be the official race leaders shortly. Hobson, Ridley, Boyd, and Glenn Boyd still in touch, isn't he? Nick Wood going wheel to wheel here with Coleman, side by side. Coleman on the inside, that's close. Between them, Wood runs a little bit wide through there, but hangs on. Good fight. You can just hear these tyres. They're on the absolute limit. They're one of the best cars to learn on iRacing because you can hear the limitations of the tyres, and when they start to squeal like that, you know you're abusing them. When they let go, they let go. This is Holmes and Dylan Canto racing over 5th and 6th position in class. 15th and 16th outright at the moment. They've got Jesse on the back of them as well. They're having a good scrap. They'll be enjoying this, these drivers. I think there'll be some big smiles on the dials as we see Mount Fuji again. Picturesque location here, and how much throttle work's going on here from Jesse, just chomping at the throttle, trying to get that car to turn. Holmes a different line through there to Dylan Canto in front. On the rev limiter there slightly as well, which would have hurt the exit, but these three are having a really good scrap. Holmes goes back up into 5th, outright 15th, and now behind. Check it out, Canto and Carriage. Oh, up on 2 wheels through there. Gee, they force it over the curbs as Moz now pits from the lead of the race. Moz will drop way down the order, and that puts Hobson and Ridley back into the top positions, with Jack Boyd about to split the difference, I think, and come through shortly. So there he goes. Yeah, Boyd does sneak down the inside there with a late dive on Hobson. And it's now Ridley, Boyd, Hobson in that order as we hit the 24-minute mark. Change for the lead now. Ridley get alongside. Sorry, Jack Boyd gets alongside Kyle Ridley. Where's Hobbo? He's trying to go with him. He gets the toe off the back of Kyle as well. And he's going to go right through Hobbo to the lead of this race outright. How strong is the double toe when you can pick it up? Hobson fires it through, and look at the Ridley late on the brace. Can he get this pulled up? No, Boyd will go down the inside. So good job. Ridley will try and hang on the outside and try and get that position back. He won't be close enough. Glenn Boyd still there in the background, but good driving by all of them there. You could just see the onboard. How quick Hobbo came through on both of them. So final round, final race of season number 8. Thanks, Graham, for the nice words. It has been, oh, we got Carl there as well. Lower Kona. Hello, mate. It's been a while. Yeah, final race of this season number 6 of the Roadster Rumble. And a bit of a break, then we come back with next season 8. Sorry, season 7, which will take us, I think, through till the end of the year or close to. So we should get 2 more laps, I think, in this race. We're just halfway through this lap now. Hobbo, 88, still out in front by about 0.6 of a second. Any one of these 4 could win it, but I think Jack Boyd is probably sticking to game plan that he used in race 1. He'll follow Hobson through now and then try and slipstream him to the line. Will Hobson try and be a little bit more defensive? That would be the key for him trying to take a win here tonight. No more sim for Kyle. Miss it so much. That's no good, mate. Had to get rid of it. It's always sad to hear. I've thought about getting rid of mine many a time. Maybe one day I will. I don't think I've used my steering wheel for 24 months. It's been a long time since it was bolted to the system. In fact, I'm very seriously contemplating just getting a stand-up desk for the setup I've got now and filing away this sim rig altogether. I've got mine set up as a flight sim, so it doesn't really need to be in a cockpit. You're happy to sit in a nice, comfortable desk chair rather than a Sparko seat, which isn't the most comfortable thing. 2 to go. Hobson leads again. It's just like what we saw in the previous race. What's going to happen though at the end? Will we get a different chapter to the story? Further back, Group B, Wooten has been in control all night again. 2 seconds almost is the lead he has over Damien Seeger, who's got a bit of issue here now because here comes Moz. Moz with the overtake, buzzing alongside him like a mosquito. And down the inside, Moz will go up into 12th place, which is second outright. Good overtake. Gets it done. The WBT racing cars now with Seeger and Losh running 13th and 14th outright. 3rd and 4th in class, still on for a podium. Just had the blackout beep there in the background. You can probably hear that. Hopefully we're not going to lose power here tonight. We had a Bit of a power surge by the sounds of things, and everything turned off for a second, and we kept live. I think we're still live. Hopefully someone out there can confirm we're still live. We just had a, what do they call it, a brownout, is it? Where the, I'm sure it's called a brownout. Doesn't sound very good though, does it? When the power goes out for a couple of seconds. Righto, we're coming down to the line though. We're going to get one more to go by the looks of things. It's going to be, what, 25, maybe 20 seconds to go as they cross the line. Hobson leads it, similar margin to what we saw in race 1. And now we start the last lap. White flag flies. Jack Boyd leads it now, so still live. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, we had a brownout. You could hear the, what are they called? Constant power supply quickly beep into action, and the battery took over for a minute there. Boyd, Hobson, Ridley, Boyd, the top 4. So this is the chance for Hobbo to revenge what happened in race 1. Will he just try and get that run onto the pit straight? I reckon Jack will be a little bit more defensive though. Wooten's got position 1 for Group B in the bag. He's 2.5 seconds now clear of Moz, so that's looking comfortable. We'll stay with this battle at the front. Thanks, Kyle. I'm actually not doing a lot of broadcasting, trying to actually finish it up. So we've got 3 series I'm still doing. Just trying to pull out of all of it at the moment, but I'll still continue to do Roadster Rumble and F3A and then the Pro Series. Sports Enhance, I think it's the other one, till the end of the year at least. And my commitments at the moment. After that, who knows? It's finding it very hard to do this, and the day job as Hobson dives to the inside. Surely you would be better off hanging back and trying to get that late run, but he thinks differently here, Hobson. He loves a challenge. He doesn't want to just try and win this on the slipstream. He wants to win this outright. He's going to have to wait though. 1 corner to go. One big sweeping right-hander. He fires it through. They're side by side again, these two, up on the curve. In fact, it's not the last corner, is it? We've got a few more to go. Or is it? Yeah, we're onto the pit straight. I was right the first time. Right, we're running to the line side by side, side drafting. Jack Boyd's in the lead. Not by much. Here comes Kyle Ridley. We're going 3 wide to the line. Who's going to win this one? The checker flag drops, and it's going to be Boydie. Jack Boyd gets it by 7 milliseconds, and Ridley gets third. 14 thousandths of a second covers the top 3. Can't get much closer than that. How good was that? Hobson you can hear it in his laugh there. 7 thousandths of a second between them. That is a close finish. Let's have a look at Group B, as it's going to be a Brad Wooten win. He has been on form. He's right on the back of Scott Baker, one of the Class A drivers. He's coming around to take a well-deserved victory in Group B. 2 from 2 for him in the final race of the season, so well done. We'll bring you some results shortly. We'll wrap it all up. We'll talk to some drivers. Don't go anywhere. You're live on Racers TV for the final round of the Roadster Rumble season number 6, live from Fuji. So we look at a quick replay here of the run to the line before we talk to the drivers. And I tell you what, Boyd put a wheel on the grass there. Incredibly close. I think that's the line there that they crossed, is it? Start finish line? I think it is. That's where they actually classify the win. But super close between them. And let's talk to some drivers now. We'll first of all bring in, hopefully Jack Boyd's not too far away. We'll bring in Kyle Ridley. Kyle, congratulations, mate. You got P3. How close was the finish in that race? That was incredible.
Yeah, that race was insane. I was 10 thousandths off the win. I was yelling down the straight, I need more power. I wish I had one more horsepower and would have had it. But yeah, great racing today.
Mate, it was great to watch, and we love a close finish like that. Top three separated by, what was it? It was, 10 thousandths of a second or something crazy. There you go.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice racing with him today.
Yeah, good job. And Jack, you got yourself another win, mate. Congratulations. Good performance tonight. That first win tonight, you just got in with the slipstream. Tonight, you actually hung on out on the outside. You had a wheel on the grass there too.
Yeah, he was, Hobbo was chasing me for the side draft, and I was just moving over, trying to not let him have it. But no, it was a really good night tonight. All the boys were driving awesome. It was a pretty good show for the last few laps there. So yeah, really happy. It's a really good way to end the season as well for all the admins and everything. Just a nice, clean race, and yeah, it was a really good end to the season, I think.
Yeah, fantastic racing. So we'll try and do some thank yous. Hobbo hasn't joined us yet, but Jack, who would you like to thank, mate, for this fantastic finale?
Yeah, just Greg and all his admin for just not tonight, but like the whole season, and yourself as well. It's every Monday night. It's good to watch the broadcast back on a Tuesday morning. So thanks, mate. A lot of us watch it, so thank you. And just thanks to my personal partners, Simworx and Palmer's. Thanks, guys.
Fantastic. Hobbo's joined us, mate. What a finish to the race. We heard you call out with a big laugh there. What was it? 5 thousandths of a second. That's how you want to finish a race if you're going to lose it. Hello. He'll talk to me soon. You there, Hobbo? I think he's on mute or push to talk. Or there he is. There he is.
How good are Windows updates? We love
Oh, mate, always fun. But yeah, mate, close racing tonight. How good was that finish?
Yeah, that was awesome, wasn't it? A pretty fitting way to send off the series, really. Like 3 wide across the line after all those laps together, just door to door and having great fun like we always do. So obviously I'm disappointed I'm not on the top step, but I mean, how can you complain with an awesome finish like that?
That's right. And he pipped you in the first race too. Good slipstream and just got you at the line. So 2 very close finishes tonight.
Pretty standard for this series, close finishes and Jack beating me. But I mean, I actually screwed up the first race. I thought it was the second control line, like the start line, not the finish line that we're racing to. So I didn't time the run the way that I should have had I realised. So tried to rectify that in the second race, but it doesn't really matter what you do sometimes with Jack. He just finds ways to beat you. But it's great fun racing him as always, and it was awesome to have Kyle up the front there, making it an epic finish for that one.
Yeah, it's been a good series, mate. Who would you like to thank as far as your sponsors?
Obviously SSR, all the people in and around the team and the sponsors involved over there as well. We run a performance centre, DGD Customs, Smith & Sons, any of the others as well. We rattle them off every week. So thanks to all those guys. Obviously Greg and everyone else involved with running the league, and yourself for coming and broadcasting it. And last but not least, the other people that come and race it. I mean, it's awesome racing, but it only works if you've got the other people out there that you can race with respect. So awesome for all those guys as well.
Yeah, fantastic words there. All right, thanks, mate. And finally, Kyle, who would you like to thank, mate? P3 tonight on the podium.
Yeah, I just want to thank all the sponsors of my car, of course. I want to thank you. I want to thank Greg and the team for putting together a really good season. And I'm happy. It was a really good season. Really happy with it.
Congratulations. There's your top 3 in Class 8 tonight. Jack Boyd with the win. Brenton Hobson, P2, and Kyle gets a third tonight. Well done, mate. Right, let's get our Group B competitors in now. Brad Wooten, clean sweep tonight, 2 from 2. Congratulations, mate.
Thanks, buddy. It was a good night of racing for the last race of the season. So yeah, had a lot of fun. Yeah,
and you did well, Moz. You also got a good finish there, up into second in class, and quite a few positions gained in second race tonight.
Yeah, it was a good recovery. The team didn't fill up, so the first time around, so I was short on fuel. Then I got to stop and go. But yeah, we brought it home in the end, which is good.
Great job. Damien P3, similar story, mate. You also had to make up a few positions in that second race. Got yourself up into 13th, outright third in class. Well done.
Yeah, the first race was a little bit of a doozy, but made up for it in the second race, and had a little bit of a battle there with Moz, which was good fun.
Fantastic racing. All right, who do you want to thank, boys, for the final round of this series? Brad, we'll start with you.
Just yourself for the broadcast, mate. All the fellas, Roadster Rumble for putting on the league. It's an awesome league. Fun races all season. That's about it, mate. Thank you.
Congratulations on the win, mate. Moz, who would you like to thank, mate? P2.
Yeah, Simworx, Lockyer, Roadworthys, Palmers, and of course yourself, Luke, for legendary commentary every time. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. And Damien, finally tonight for WBT Racing, who would you like to thank?
Yes, WBT Racing will be a good start. Teammate Lockyer, he's done well. He got a fourth tonight, almost got there. But look, Greg Holmes for putting the whole series together. Thanks. Without him, we probably wouldn't really be able to do this and have so much fun. And everybody that races in the Roadster Rumble League, well done, boys, this season. It was really, really good, and we look forward to seeing you guys again next season. Then lastly, Luke, you, mate, fantastic broadcast. Probably don't know this, but every night I duck over to Moz's. John just lives around the corner, and we sit down, we have a scotch and watch the broadcast, mate. We really, really enjoy it. So yeah, cheers for that.
That's awesome, guys. And if you can't have a number 1 on the car, having a 747 is the next best thing. So good numbers, man.
7.6s and 7.4s, absolutely. That's it.
Awesome. Righto, boys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in season number 7 in a couple of weeks' time.
Thanks, Luke.
Cheers. Take care. Righto, that was your top 3 from Group B as well. So fantastic with Brad, Wooten getting another win. He's been incredible. What a way to round out his season, Moz P2 and Damien P3. That's it for me tonight. Thanks for joining me for the Roadster Rumble. We'll be back for season number 7 in a couple of weeks' time here on Race Stars TV. So until then, if you want to get involved in this, go on, check out Roadster Rumble. There's a link in the description. Get yourself one of these MX-5s on iRacing and join one of the best leagues out there. A good, friendly bunch, well-run league by Greg. Congratulations, Greg, and thanks to all the sponsors as well for this fantastic season. But a big shout out to Greg Holmes. Puts in 1 million hours to make this thing work, and it works a treat. So congratulations. Jack Boyd, 2 strong tonight. That's where we'll round it out from. Luke here at the Roadster Rumble. Good night.